Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for joining me on the NWP call this evening. Just to let everyone know, NWP doesn't offer any financial advice, and this is all based on my personal experience. It's important that all partners fully understand how their funds are being used, and remember that past performance does not guarantee any future results. My goal is very simple, and that's to help you achieve a consistent weekly income. With NWP, we aren't members, we're partners. And basically, if I have to explain what a partner is, if you are going to get a benefit, then NWP will get a benefit. If you get no benefit, NWP won't get a benefit. Now, there's two ways to be a partner with NWP, and that's to be a portfolio partner, meaning that you have a deposit and your money is going to be working for you, but it's without those complex banking and fees and all those type of things that go with traditional investments. NWP is very different. The other way to be a partner with NWP is to be an affiliate, and there you build your legacy, connect others, and this will help you achieve some extra earnings, or it's even possible that this could be your only earnings. But we'll show you that as we go through the presentation this evening. Remember that when we talk about difference, we're always talking about liquidity. In other systems, banking, investment, all those type of things, they will typically lock away your capital, and you won't have any access to that for 1 to 5 years. And that's not the case with NWP. NWP doesn't look like any other investment. What's happening with NWP is your liquidity, your money is always your privilege. It's not the company's privilege. And that's the way you often treat it out there. You know, if you want to get your money out and you want to get it out before the lock-in period, well, then you pay penalties and all that sort of thing. There's nothing like that with NWP. It's a weekly system. Now, this weekly system simply works from Monday to Friday, and on a Saturday, you receive your profits. On a Saturday, you can also decide you can withdraw your capital. So this is a completely flexible system. There's no lock-ins, there's no penalties. Everything's your decision and it's your money under your control. Even when you want to compound, it's your decision to compound. And compounding does not lock your money away for more than a week. So it's a week-to-week system. It's completely flexible, and you can get your capital whenever you want. So this security of the system happens in a very unique way. And that happens on a Friday night where your profits are separated from the capital. Capital remains with the brokers, and the profits go to a third-party payment gateway. This makes it mathematically impossible for there to be any sort of rotation inside the system where there might be things that shouldn't be happening. And this gives you the peace of mind knowing that there's complete transparency and you have control over your profits every single week. Your deposit remains with the brokers until such time as you want it, and you can get it at any time. But the profits are always yours on a weekly basis. You get to keep them and decide what you want to do with those profits. So that's the weekly cycle. And it's all about keeping things separate so that there can be complete transparency and liquidity for you, because it's your money. And that's the most important thing. You get to decide on a weekly basis what you want to do with your money. The whole operational strategy works around a global trading engine, and this is where your portfolio generates sustainable growth. And the trading takes place on the Forex and global commodity markets. The markets are gold, oil, and silver typically. Not limited to that, but that's typically where they do most of the trading. And then there's a capital safety limit. This is because it's a moderate risk profile. and only 20% of your capital will be used on a weekly basis to actually produce the profits. The reason being because you might need your capital. So they have to make sure that your capital is available, and therefore keeping the risk low on your trading, make sure that your capital is available whenever you need it. The principle here is about consistency, and it's about a little where you gain a lot. And what I mean by that is if you can be consistent, your money can work for you. We got an example here of $12, and you would deposit $12. You don't, and before I go any further, there is no thing where you have to do a payment every month or anything like that. This is completely flexible. You decide what you want to do. So the example that I'm showing you here is purely an example. It's not a thing where you have to commit to. If you miss a month, that's no problem. There's no one's going to slap you over the wrist for missing a month. It's your money. You get to decide what you're going to do with it. So if you were putting away, let's say $12, which in South African terms is about 200 Rand, you're putting away 200 Rand for 60 months, that's 5 years. A total capital that you would have invested over that time would have been $720. What would the result be after 60 months of that $720? Let's have a look at that. For the projected growth, and this is where you put in your $12 in, you take in the profits plus your new $12 every month, and you basically just reinvesting them so that you can get that compounding growth. Well, as you can see here, the projected growth for that sort of deposit over 60 months would be $5,000 in total. Now, the very interesting thing is because it becomes a compounding effect and you get growth on growth because you're putting that back and you're putting your new $12 in, take that $12 and take it for another 14 months after you've reached the 5,000, and suddenly your portfolio is at 10,000. Now, 10,000 is very significant because in the NWP system, there's 3 different tiers of portfolios that you can participate in, and they are as follows. Starting with the foundation portfolio. The foundation portfolio, you can see it's $10. That's the minimum, up to $9,999. The target that the traders look for in the foundation portfolios is 5% or more per month. This is not paid to you on a monthly basis. You receive your profit every week. So if it was a perfect 5% month, you'd be getting 1.25 first week, 1.25 the second week, 1.25 the third week, and 1.25 the fourth week. It doesn't happen exactly like that because trading fluctuates from a weekly basis. But what they'll try to do is get you an accumulative of 5% or more on a monthly basis, but it's paid to you and you receive those profits on a weekly basis. As you can see there in the little gray, the profits would range anything from 5 to 10% monthly in the foundation portfolios. So that's the entry-level portfolios and a very nice place to start. Then moving to the growth portfolios, and remember in the previous slide I mentioned the 10,000. Well, at the 10,000 point, now you go up to 8% per month, and that's what the target is, the traders. So here you have accelerated compounding, and your money will move faster at this level. So that's 8% on those ones, anything from 10,000 to 49,999 gets you into the growth portfolios. And then there's the elite portfolios. This is the premium class of NWP, 50,000 or more invested. And what you're looking at here is 10% or more per month. You can see there that the range in the premium asset management class here of the elite portfolios is anywhere between 10 to 15% monthly. And this is what we've been experiencing for the last 72 weeks. Here are the results from week 72. That was this last Saturday. And what you see here is the gross profit. So Remember, I mentioned that 5% on the foundation portfolios would typically be 1.25%. Well, you can see there it was 1.37, so it does fluctuate on a weekly basis, looking for 5% for the month in the foundation portfolios. But what happens is they all show the gross profit. Partners, the people with deposit, will get the 1.37, and then the other half goes to the business volume. The business volume is what sustains the affiliate plan and also the business. So that's how the profits are split, and everything is completely transparent on a weekly basis. 50% to the partners with portfolios and 50% to the business volume. And there you can see the growth portfolios, the elite portfolios, as well as the booster portfolios. They're all separate. They all have their own brokers, and they trade, and those are the profits given to you and shown to you on a weekly basis. To go over this weekly cycle again, you'll put your deposit in. Once your deposit's in, the weekly trading takes place from Monday to Friday. This is the profit generation done by the brokers and traders. At the end of the Friday night, midnight, those profits are then separated from the capital, sent to a payment gateway. And when you wake up on a Saturday morning, typically if you're in the Africa region, when you wake up on Saturday morning, those profits are in the gateway waiting for you to withdraw them. When you withdraw those profits, it's an instant withdrawal into your crypto wallet, provided you've made at least $5 for the week, or you've accumulated $5, one of the two, whichever's there. Once you've got $5 in the gateway, you can make that withdrawal. When you make that withdrawal, it goes instantly to your crypto wallet. Here we suggest a private crypto wallet or a transfer wallet so that you can have control and not send it to an exchange, because often sending it to an exchange means you've relinquished control of your money. Rather send it to your wallet. Make sure it's there, and then you decide what you want to do. It's your money, it's your decision at the end of the day. And that's the way that we suggest that you control your whole system. To get started, you would simply register, you deposit your crypto, open a portfolio, and then on Saturday, you will get your profits. If those deposits are done before midnight on a Monday, you will still get profits that come in Saturday. When you are ready to start and want to check in, these are the different currencies that are available for you to use. It's USDT, BNB, or USDC on either the Ethereum network, the Binance network, or the Polygon network. And remember, I spoke about you in control. At every stage when you get profits, you physically withdraw those profits into your own private crypto wallet. It's never an internal process in the system, because those profits have been separated and sent to a payment gateway. So they're no longer in the system. It's just your capital and your deposit that remains in the system. You get to decide what you want to do with those profits. You withdraw them from the payment gateway. Once you've made that manual withdrawal, it's instant withdrawal. It goes to your crypto wallet. And then if you wanted to reinvest, you then, as long as you've got $10, which is a minimum for the foundation portfolios, you make that deposit and you open yourself a portfolio. Once you open a portfolio, that will immediately go into trade and you will make those profits on a Saturday. So this is the control process. There's never any internal movement of money in the system. Any profits always go to the third-party payment gateway. And this makes it transparent for everyone, because everyone in the system is doing exactly the same thing, regardless of how much money you've got in the system, whether you're on the foundation, the growth, or the elite portfolios. Everyone's doing the same thing in the NWP system. Your withdrawals, those are there are fees, and this is the only time fees are charged by NWP. So there's no trading fees, there's no subscriptions, there's no yearly fees, anything like that. That's only on your withdrawal, and that's a 5% fee on your withdrawal, provided you've got a minimum of $5. You can withdraw in Polygon USDT, and if you wanted to withdraw in BEP20 USDT, you would need a minimum of $10. So 5%, if you were withdrawing the $10, for instance, that is 50 cents. So if you had $10 and you made that withdrawal, you'll receive $9.50 in your crypto wallet. The capital withdrawals, you can withdraw capital on a Saturday and Sunday. The first time you take capital out, that's 100% free. And then after that, if you make capital withdrawals, there's a 2% charge on the subsequent withdrawals of your capital. WhatsApp chat is available, and that's the support for NWP. Those girls are based in Canada, very fast and efficient. I would always recommend WhatsApp chat as opposed to the email, which is a little bit slower. The website of NWP is NW Profits. That stands for Network Profits. And then the offices and registration of the company are based in Turkey, and the offices are in the Trump Towers. To help you, we've put together this little link tree. So please ask for this. Here we've put everything we can possibly think of to help you. It's got a little getting started booklet. It's got videos that explain the whole business and explain the affiliate plan. There's PDFs for you to read and a whole lot of other information. So do get yourself scan this link or ask for the link tree to be sent to you. And it's got all the links in a simple way. There's even a link there where you can just simply click on that and it'll connect you to support. Now I spoke about, we've just gone through the partners with portfolios. That's you and your deposit and how you would earn by having a deposit on a weekly basis. And that will give you that profit that I spoke about. Let's have a look at the affiliate plan. This is where your network can truly become your net worth. It's an opportunity to build consistent weekly income through community building. The most interesting part of the affiliate plan is that you do not need to have a personal portfolio, meaning you don't have to have a deposit to earn from the affiliate plan. You just need to register. That's a free registration, and you can introduce your friends. Once they put a deposit in, you will start earning the affiliate bonuses. This is all 100% sustainable because it's based on that 50-50 split that I showed you earlier. So you're only earning on profits, you're never earning on someone else's deposit. This is completely sustainable, so it's built for the long term. Never will the company have paid out some money that they don't have, and they would never have paid out any money of yours either. That, in other systems, if you were getting the upfront bonus, generally it's from your money. And that means that let's say you put in $1,000 and they paid out a 10% or 5%, well, you've got 10 or 5% less in your trading thing. And that's often why they lock your money away for 1 to 5 years, because they need to pay those deposits or they need to pay some broker commission or something. It doesn't happen like that here. You only earn weekly on the profits that are generated. Much different system. So the first income stream that's offered on a weekly basis, there's 3 of them. That's the direct bonus. And what happens here is once you've introduced someone, your referral, he puts his money in, he makes his weekly profit, and you'll be paid 15% of whatever profit he makes on a weekly basis. It's not coming out of his pocket, it's coming out of that 50-50 split. So just as an example, we spoke about getting $12 a month to put into a system or portfolio every month. Well, if you were earning and your referral earned a profit of $80 for the week, 15% of $80 is $12. So there is one of your $12 that you could use to start your consistent investment system. The second stream is the binary income. And what happens here is you paid 15% on the matched business volume. In other words, you're getting paid on your lesser or equal leg, and you'll be paid 15% of whatever the matched business volume is. Now, business volume sounds like a complicated thing, so let me try and explain that to you. You've got 2 teams, one on the left, one on the right. Spillover also counts. How the business volume is generated on a weekly basis is your weekly profits determine the business volume. So whatever the profits are, the total of your left profits and the total of your right profits, those are what make up the business volume. And therefore, whatever the lesser of those two are, you'll be paid 15% of that business volume on a weekly basis. That's the binary bonus from your lesser leg volume from your business volume. This just gives you an example of that binary. So in this case here, Max introduced Joe, but he didn't introduce Erica. Erica's spillover. Where did the spillover come from? Well, the person who introduced Max could have been the person that introduced Erica as well. When you introduce someone into the system, they will fall into either the left or right side. So if Max joins before Erica, he'll be on top of the ladder above Erica, and that's what will cause this thing. Now, because you can only put in either on your left side or your right side, Max's sponsor or the person who referred Max can only put people in on the left. If he puts some on the right, in this case, if he put someone in on the left, it wouldn't come into the structure. Only people that person puts in on the right can come into the right-hand side of Max's structure. Therefore, Joe had to be someone that was introduced by Max, because Max, in this case, can only put someone in on the left or the right. But he needs someone on the left, so he would have introduced Joe. Just to explain this a little bit further, if you look at your business, and it could be either the left or the right, it's never just one of them. It depends how you fall into the structure and how, which side your sponsor put you in. So if this was your business and you were looking at your back office and you see, gee, I've got deposit on my right-hand side. I didn't introduce anyone. Where did that deposit come from? Well, very simply, that deposit that you see on your right-hand side will be your spillover. So if you wanted to then be binary qualified, all you would need to do is introduce someone on your left side. And that would mean that because you've got volume on your left, and that would be when you introduce the person, they would need to put a deposit in. Otherwise, there wouldn't be any business volume generated. So putting person on the left, once you've got people in on the right, or vice versa, will mean that you've now got binary qualification and you will earn the binary bonus on a weekly basis. Notice that you don't have to put anyone in on the right-hand side because there is already people there. So all the system does is look, it doesn't care who your referrals are. It simply looks for where is the volume. Is there volume on your left? Then when we talk about volume, we talk about the volume of dollars invested and not people. So you might have 1,000 people on your right, 1,000 people on your left, but the volume of deposit would mean a completely different thing. And you're always looking at the amount of money, not the amount of people. And of course, as your business grows, well, people will introduce people, and your binary income will increase as your business grows, either left or right. The third stream of income that we can earn on a weekly basis is the matching bonus. And basically, the very simple way to look at the matching bonus is in the first part, you introduce people. They are your referrals. Now, once your referrals become binary qualified, they start earning the binary bonus, and you will then earn 5% of whatever they earn on a weekly basis from the binary. That's your level one. You can have as many referrals as you want on level one. All your referrals will be on level one. Their referrals will be on level two. And then level three is the referrals of those referrals. This is not a binary structure. This is a flat uni-level structure. So whoever is your referrals, they'll be on level one, but you will earn 3 levels deep. Just looking at the binary again, there are no limits to the levels that you can earn in the binary. So if you've got thousands of people and whatever depth is in your binary, it's simple about how much volume is on the left of money and how much volume is on the right, and you will earn. There's no cutoff on the binary bonuses. Other than there's one cutoff, and that's once you earn $5,000 or more on the binary, that's where it's cut, but it's not cut at any levels. Right, so that is my presentation for this evening. Remember that when you're getting started, you might be in the business already. To introduce yourself to the affiliate plan and get started with the affiliate plan, there is your referral link in your back office. That's either on the left or the right. Speak to your sponsor. Find out where you need to add people. If you're unsure, just ask, and they'll tell you which leg you would more than likely need to add people into. And remember that when you get people started, make sure they have the link tree with all the information that they can get. And then also, give them the example of the consistent $12 example. It can be any amount, doesn't matter. Obviously, the differences will be according to the portfolios, but they can start with any amount. And when you're putting money into the system, you can put any figure of dollar. You just can't put cents into the system. It only accepts dollars. It doesn't accept cents. But that's the presentation from my side this evening. I do hope that you enjoyed the updated format or the change in format. And if you do have any questions, I'm here and will gladly answer your questions. I'm here to help you and assist in whichever way I can.
Very much, Rich, and thank you for the new presentation. It's really enlightening.
Good, yeah. I wanted to highlight the flexibility of the NWP system. You have full control over your money. You can set yourself a goal, and you can, when you achieve that goal, if you were trying to save up for a deposit on something, well, once you've achieved that in the NWP system, you can take your money and all the profits. It's never locked, and you have full control and flexibility with it. You never have to worry about there being, somewhere where there's no terms and conditions. There's nothing like that. It's very simple with NWP. You have control. It's your money, and they understand that. And to NWP, all of your money is sacred. It's not, they don't abuse your money, and they don't want to control your money like some people want to control your money. And, so in some institutions, they treat you as if it's their money, meanwhile it's your money. And that's not the case with NWP. You have the choice, you have the control, and you decide what you want to do with your money. They won't decide for you. See, got some questions here. Let me have a look. Can you elaborate a bit more about the crocodile booster? And yes, okay. So let's talk about the crocodile booster. The crocodile booster is available still for about, well, the current crocodile booster, we're in phase 2 of the crocodile booster. That's available until Sunday. And then, what happens with the crocodile is you put in $12 and the company will add $18 to that, giving you a base of earnings of $30. So you're going to be earning on $30 on a weekly basis, although you only deposited 12. When this crocodile ends on Sunday, the new one kicks in, and that's up until the 2nd of April, where you'll be depositing 12 and the company will add $8 to that. So they get a bit smaller, and then the crocodile finishes on the 2nd of April. No more crocodiles after that. So you have got the chance of getting a crocodile at the moment where you put in $12 and the company adds $18. The crocodile is not indefinite. So your other portfolios that I explained in the presentation, they all indefinite. You put your money in and you'll indefinitely earn money every week on that. the crocodiles are a bit different. Once let's say you've put in your 12, the company gives you 18 and you earn 30. Once you've earned $30 from the crocodile, your crocodile comes to an end. So what you would need to do is take some of that money from your crocodile and add that into other portfolios so that you can benefit from the crocodile in the long term. But you will get your $30, and that $30 is completely separate from any other earnings. So you will earn purely $30 on your crocodile. It doesn't matter how much you've got in other portfolios, that crocodile will always be separate. So I hope that helps you understand the crocodile. As I mentioned, the crocodile is only on for about another 5 days. And so if you do want the crocodile, I suggest you tick that button saying crocodile, invest the crocodile. Thanks for that question, Johan. If you're joining us on the leadership training tomorrow evening, it's on the same link as this, so you're welcome to join us on that. We'll be talking a little bit about how to build your business in a sustainable and simple way. So that's the topic for tomorrow night. It's on the same link as tonight, just starting half an hour later. So that's tomorrow night. And then on Thursday, we have our normal presentation like this one at the same time on the same link again. And that is my presentation for this evening. So do have a good evening further. Thank you to Blanche for helping me co-host this meeting. And good night and God bless. Thank you very much.